On Facebook and YouTube at Caci Television. My name is Alinana Ipia Abajwa. Now let's begin with the Vice President's speech on Wednesday. As the Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says he will scrap national service for all Ghanaians if elected president during the December polls. Well, the national service is mandatory to every graduate who is obliged to serve the nation for at least a year. And during the national service, the individual is posted to any region to undertake his or her service. Dr. Bawumia, providing his bold solutions to fix Ghana, noted this during his address at the UPSA here in Accra.
Where we leverage technology, data, and systems for inclusive economic growth. I want us to apply digital technology, STEM, robotics, and artificial intelligence for the transformation of agriculture, healthcare, education, manufacturing, fintech, and public service delivery. As part of this process, it is my goal to eliminate the digital divide by achieving close to 100% internet penetration in Ghana. We have already made significant progress in this direction by increasing internet penetration from 34% in 2016 to 72% in 2023. So we've more than doubled internet penetration. The task in the next 4 years is to move from 72% to close to 100% internet penetration. It is possible. I want to see Ghana build the digital talent that we require for the fourth industrial revolution. This will mean providing digital and software skills to hundreds of thousands of youth. This, along with other policies, will create jobs for the youth, including school dropouts. In collaboration with the private sector, we will train at least 1 million youth in IT skills, including software developers, to provide job opportunities worldwide. Generally, there will be an enhanced focus on TVET education. My government will also support the establishment of a national open university, Ghana, in collaboration with the private sector, with a focus on technical and vocational skills and ICT. Ladies and gentlemen, to help our youth get jobs, I believe it is time to rethink the concept of the current national service scheme. My government will propose that those who, after completion of their education, can secure jobs will be exempted from national service. National service will no longer be mandatory, and students will have the option to decide whether to do national service or not. This will also encourage companies to go to the campuses to recruit annually. This time they don't go because of national service. Ladies and gentlemen, to prepare our children for the fourth industrial revolution workplace, I will enhance the repositioning of the education system towards STEM, robotics, artificial intelligence, and vocational skills to cope with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution and job creation. My government will make coding and robotics standard in senior high school. The foundation for this is being laid with the provision of laptops to senior high school students very soon.
And the Vice President has also said that his administration will give the nod of the 2024 elections to adopt the use of electric vehicles to reduce the cost of public transportation. Well, he explained that his government is targeting to cut down public transportation costs between 30 to 40% with adoption of the EVs.
Needs more investment. The cost of data for the ordinary Ghanaian has become too expensive. It goes against the very ethos of our digitalization journey. The industry cannot continue to operate at the efficiency and pricing levels of the least efficient operators. The focus has to be on the best efficiency and pricing for the consumer. I commit to working with the industry players in setting clear policy guidelines that will remove any investor uncertainty and difficulties in business planning, including the expeditious allocation of spectrum driven more by the goal of enhancing digital inclusion and less by revenue consideration. Another area I want to tackle is reducing the cost of living. Ladies and gentlemen, a major priority of my government will be to reduce the cost of living. The cost of living in the world has increased massively following the COVID pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. Global inflation has increased from 1.55% in 2016 to 8.7% at the end of 2022. That is average. This is a 5-fold increase. In particular, the increase in the cost of living has been driven by increases in food prices, energy prices, housing rents, and transport prices. Therefore, any attempt to reduce the cost of living on a sustainable basis must tackle agriculture, energy, housing, and transport prices. And that is exactly what I am going to do. I want a Ghana where we attain food security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large-scale farming. We will also promote the use of agricultural lime to reduce the acidity of our soils. We enhance soil fertility and get more yield from the application of fertilizer. Ghana has an abundance of limestone to do this. I will also prioritize the construction of the Pualugu Dam by using private sector financing to crowd in grant financing. My administration will also work to reduce the cost of public transport between 30 and 40% with the adoption of electric vehicles for public transportation. The public transport pricing formula is dominated by two variables: the price of fuel and the price of spare parts. Electric vehicles do not use petrol or diesel, and the spare parts are minimal. That is what will bring down the fares for electric.
Promised to implement new policies that would help eliminate some of the taxes introduced recently to generate more revenue. Well, some of these new policies the Vice President proposed include tax digitalization, making Ghana a cashless society, cuts in government expenditure, and implementing a new tax regime.
To protect the poor. With a new flat tax regime, a tax return should be able to be completed in just a few minutes. We will also simplify our complicated corporate tax system and VAT regime. To start the new tax system on a clean slate, my government will provide a tax amnesty. That is a complete exemption from payment of taxes for a specified period and waiving the interest and penalties up to a certain year to individuals and businesses for failures to file taxes in previous years, so that everybody will start afresh. Digitalization will be implemented across all aspects of tax administration. Everyone will be required to file a very simple tax return electronically through their mobile phone or computer. There will be no manual or paper filing of taxes under my administration. Assessments by GRA will also be faceless. Faceless assessments will provide transparency and accountability. There will be no need to send GRA officers to go and sit in shops. E-invoicing as being implemented by the GRA will be extended to all companies. Estonia, India, and Mexico provide very useful models for Ghana in the area of tax digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, any audit by GRA will also be done electronically and facelessly. Furthermore, no entity will be audited more than once in 5 years unless anomalies are detected which the individual or company does not correct after being given the opportunity to do so. We will amend the law such that if there is a dispute about tax assessment, a binding arbitration will take place through a body constituted by institutions such as the Ghana Arbitration Center, Institute of Taxation, AGI, Institute of Chartered Accountants, Private Enterprise Foundation, Ghana Employers Association, and so on, with a mandate to resolve any appeal in a maximum of 3 months. This will not affect companies, however, who by their agreements have such arbitrations taking place in international jurisdictions. Ladies and gentlemen, with cuts in government expenditure, the private sector undertaking expenditure that would normally be done by government, and the new tax regime, the flat tax regime, that will enhance compliance, broaden the tax base, and increase tax revenue. With these policies, the situation we are going to face in 2025 is going to be very different from the situation we faced in 2020 and 2022. With the policy measures implemented so far, we have outperformed the IMF fiscal deficit target of 5% by attaining a fiscal deficit target of 4.2% in 2023. The new policies that I am proposing to implement in 2025 will give us the fiscal space to eliminate some taxes, such as the proposed VAT on electricity, if they are still on the books, the emissions tax, and the betting tax, without.
And Ghana's oldest living former President John Ajikun Kufuor, has said that he has always seen the certain Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a man of destiny. Well, speaking of the VP, who is also the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, during the launch of Bawumia as a candidate of the party for the 2024 elections, the former president said he has always known there was something special about the vice president.
Our beautiful First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Kufuor, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the man of the moment, Mahmoud Bawumia, and our Second Lady, party elders, party members, excellencies of the diplomatic corps, our revered chiefs and queen mothers, and all of the citizens of Ghana watching this program, whether from within these halls or from outside. I have come to bear witness to the candidate who is being inaugurated today. I have always seen him as a man of destiny. when I first saw him, and that was about 2002, he was just a research assistant to the governor of the Central Bank, and in faraway London. This young man delivered a paper at an international conference of giants from the city of London, the financial world, and some very powerful people of government. And immediately he finished his address, he was going to sit down, but there was something in his statement and about him. I was president of Ghana then. In fact, till then I hadn't even spoken with him ever before. But I sent somebody, I think one of the officers with me, go and call me that young man. He came, I congratulated him, and I don't know what came in me. Prophetically, I told him, carry on like that, and you'll go far. Then, 2008, as I was stepping down and the party had chosen President, then candidate Akufo-Addo, who later became president, somehow Akufo-Addo picked this same young man to be his running mate. Till then, Bawumia was not even in the main stream of party. He was a party man, all right, but behind the scenes. So we picked him, and of course there were some surprises. People expressed misgivings. I thought of it, and then at a party meeting in the Aliza Hotel, I remembered my first meeting with this young man in London, and what I told him. Then it dawned on me again to more or less prophesy. I appealed to the party just to accept this man to carry on, man of destiny. Today we've all gathered here to launch him as our presidential candidate.
Away from that story, let's move to Parliament, where Honorable Kizolato Forson has reiterated that the president is driving the country into a ditch, and the vice president has allowed that to happen. Well, this comment comes off after the vice president delivered a speech on his goals and aspirations for the country here in Accra.
The only reason why these taxes are still effective is because the NDC is not in office. So now that MPP is in the office and the vice president indeed is the chairman of the economic management team, vice president of the Republic of Ghana, the second in command in the Akufo-Addo's administration, and also the leader of the MPP, he has whatever it takes to bring the bill to Parliament if you so desire. And let me add this. These bills were first presented to this house when he was sitting here. He came to Parliament with the minister responsible for finance to impose the e-levy. He can't turn around to come back and to tell all of us that he's not part of it. But let me add that the General Secretary of MPP sits in cabinet. He left cabinet and informed the people of Ghana that the vice president approved the e-levy and voted for the e-levy. The minister responsible for information, my brother Kodu Oponkroma, is a member of cabinet. He says that the bill was prepared by the vice president. So for him to prepare one bill, ask Parliament, whip all their members of Parliament to vote for, and to turn around to say that they should remove the tax is very disgraceful and shameful. In fact, I want to add that this shows the kind of credibility he has. He has no credibility. So for him to all of a sudden say that the economic management team is only advisory, what about his position as the second in command in the cabinet? So he said he's a driver's mate. He's a driver's mate. He's a terrible mate. He's such a terrible mate that cannot direct or guide his boss. What a mate he is. I've never witnessed such a terrible mate in my life. And I urge him that if this is his nature, then the president must drop this mate immediately, so because it's a terrible mate.
He's given an impression that he couldn't make policies because at that time he's not holding a position as a driver. He's only a driver's mate. So now, as a driver, he can implement his own policy. He wasn't given an opportunity.
Then he's a very wicked mate, in the sense that if your driver or your boss is driving us into a ditch, and you have superior knowledge, and you fail to give this superior knowledge and allow your boss to drive about 23 million Ghanaians into 33 million Ghanaians into a ditch, what a wicked mate that person is. So you see, he's so selfish to the extent that he thinks he has superior knowledge. He failed to guide the boss because he's the closest person to the boss, as long as this constitution of the Republic of Ghana is concerned. And he's saying that he has superior knowledge. Once upon a time, this same MPP government, under the same President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia, MPP had 125 ministers of state. And he's saying he can manage with 50 ministers. So it means during those days, they've wasted taxpayers' money to the tune of 75 ministers and over. And he says he can manage with 50 ministers. This shows and confirms our position that this government has been wasteful, has been reckless in the management of the affairs of this country. Please, Ghanaians, don't trust this terrible mate.
Away from politics, Anglo Good Ashanti Obuasi has commissioned a 9-unit classroom block at the Samsu to the Ghana Education Service as part of its ongoing efforts to improve educational outcomes in Obuasi. Well, the project, which was built at the cost of 4.8 million Ghana cedi, will replace the old Samsu Methodist School block, which was built decades ago. The new facility has a library, an ICT center, a sick bay, and a canteen.
The Samsu Basic School we commission and hand over today is one of the 10 basic school infrastructure we seek to provide as part of our 10-year socio-economic development plan. And this in particular, the one in Samsu here, is intended to set the Samsu Basic School up as a model school for effective teaching and learning. We have seen a steady improvement in BEC pass rates from around 84% to over 93% since 2020. Our focus currently is to support our stakeholders to improve the
Dr. Atoforsin has charged President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo to reform his government and governance style, just as Parliament has done. His remarks come after the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, introduced new standing orders that will significantly change how things will be done in Parliament from henceforth.
This is the most enduring and the one that has actually prospered this country. In fact, it has its own weakness, and we are working to perfect it as time goes on. You can agree with me that yesterday we introduced a new standing order, and also as part of it, there's some major reforms that Parliament, through the Speaker and most experienced people like my good friend and colleague, the Swami Messi, has been introduced here. And I'm sure as time goes on, we can only improve. And I'm a student of continuous improvement. And I'm sure over the years, the work of Parliament, you can agree with me, is evolving and changing and, correcting itself. We are aiming for the best. We are not perfect. If we get something wrong, obviously we call on the public to correct us. But we are here to help this democracy to mature. And in Africa, Ghana's democracy is one of the best. My plea is that even us, as members of Parliament, we should be sensitive to the needs of the public in making laws and doing things in a way that will benefit the people. So far, we have weathered the storm of the worst form of economic crisis in our lives. And we are still working, and democracy is standing. What we need to do is to protect it and correct the wrongs and make sure that going forward we can increase the tempo of parliamentary oversight and have it work. To conclude, this meeting is largely going to be about 7 weeks, And for me, the most important one will be the State of the Nation address, where the President will be visiting, will be coming to Parliament to deliver the State of the Nation. Members of Parliament will do what we have to do right in making comment on the true state of our country. Our country is not sitting well in some of the things that we do. And just like Parliament has reformed yesterday, I called on His Excellency the President, the Vice President, to also reform their government. Because Ghanaians are fast losing hope in our democracy, and we can't allow this to happen. So we also have to reform the way governance is done. And I use this platform once again to call on His Excellency the President to reform his governance style and reform the way governance is conducted in this country in a way that we can get the confidence from the people of Ghana so that this democracy can succeed. That is exactly what I want to say, nothing more. And we'll use this, this meeting to debate the state of the nation in a way that the people of Ghana will like it. There are a number of bills, a number of business that the public, the government will bring. I can assure you, and the business community, that will do what is right in the interest.
Chairman Sambunsu has rebuked certain political PT leaders for their extravagant demands, including requests for cuts and conditions for allowing party members to contest in parliamentary primaries. Well, according to him, he condemns such vote buying, stressing the importance of addressing this issue within the country's electoral process.
The houses to do that. So if he wins, what do you think will happen? He needs his house back, payback. So you put him in a responsible position. Let's not pretend that we don't know what is happening. Let's not pretend that we don't know what is happening. Let's be very candid with ourselves. Let's be very candid with ourselves and confront this so that going forward it will be a thing of the past. Because as I was telling somebody yesterday, I cannot imagine what we are seeing today. I cannot imagine what will happen maybe 2-3 elections from now. I'm talking about the primaries. I cannot imagine what will happen. You have people coming to you to tell you that Kotoka Amayanzani Atuabau, especially the leadership of the parties. Kotoka Amayanzana Amakwan Krase come and contest. It's going to be very dangerous. Even land. Indentured entitled. That is what the Dr. Atuk Forsen and governments are telling me. I mean, but we should be real. We should be real. So colleagues, let's help to keep this. My own proposition is that the party
Ministry of Finance directive to suspend the continuous 15% value-added tax on electricity. The Greater Accra Regional Branch of the Organized Labour of the Trades Union Congress remains unwavering in its decision to proceed with the protest. Well, Patrick Benyemi, a representative from the Regional Metro Council of Labour, outlined their plans for a nationwide demonstration on Friday, February 13th, at the press conference in Accra.
By this means, we are calling on all organized labor members all over the Greater Accra region to be ready and prepared for this demonstration. So, details. On Tuesday at 6:30 a.m., we are all gathering at the Obra Sports Center, where we will process through the Kojo Thompson Road to the Fariso traffic light we will take left to the DUC traffic lights, then right towards the polo grounds along the Professor John Evans Atamils Highway, that is the High Street, and we'll end at the Independence Square or the Black Star Square. Please let us take notes, and we are once again calling on all organized labor members within the Greater Accra region to avail themselves for this exercise. Let us again take note that on Tuesday, our affiliates from the GPRTU across Greater Accra are not going to work.
And the Ghana Journalists Association has issued a 10-day ultimatum to the New Patriotic Party and the Ghana Police Service regarding the alleged assault on a journalist, Mohammed Aminu, by the Member of Parliament for Yendi, Farouk Aliu Mahama. Well, the incident is said to have occurred during the chaos that erupted at the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary primary in the Yendi constituency on January 27, 2024.
And demands regarding the attack on the City FM journalist are as follows. 1. That all media houses must blacklist and offer Farouk Aliu Mahama no media coverage, interview, etc. As the MP for Yendi and any other state position, he owes until further notice. We want you to know that apart from him being insensitive to the work of journalists, as demonstrated during the parliamentary primaries, there are vigilantes around him who may harm you. So just steer clear or stay away from him and his tax. 2. The MPP leadership at the national and regional levels must seek justice for our colleague, Mohammed Amin Alabira, by sanctioning the MP and his hoodlums appropriately. 3. The Ghana Police Service should speed up with investigations into the case and arraign the perpetrators before court to face the full rigors of the law for their distasteful conduct. This time, the policemen and women are witnesses to the incidents as it happened. 4. We are giving the MPP, regional and national, and the Dampare-led Ghana Police Service 10 days. 10 days ultimatum, each to hear from them. They should arrest the perpetrators. If they fail, we shall advise ourselves accordingly. My dear colleagues, it is our hope that all media houses will rally behind our call and ensure that they adhere to the directives. This is in our shared interest. Any media house which violates the blacklist declaration, believing that their staff will not be attacked, and goes ahead to offer their platforms to Farouk Aliu Mahama, the blood of any journalist who will be killed during this period will be on the head of the owners and managers.
Has stated that Mavis Hawa Komsin, the Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, has called for a truce. Well, she is prepared to assist the association in bringing the individuals involved in the assault on Cape FM journalist David Kobina during her vetting in Cape Coast to justice.
Colleagues, on the 8th and 25th of January 2024 respectively. We held a press conference and registered our concerns and condemned the attack on the Cape FM morning show host David Kobina on Thursday, 4th January 2024 at the Central Regional Vetting of Parliamentary Aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, held at the Regional Coordinating Council RCC by some thugs numbering about 15 and wearing a branded t-shirt of Mavis Awakumsen, the Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senior East. We enumerated a number of demands. To press home our demands, colleagues, we sent petitions to the MPP both at the national and regional levels and the Ghana Police Service. In view of the extremely cold silence of the MPP and the police on the case, after our earlier demands and after extensive consultation, we escalated our actions by calling on our members to blacklist the Member of Parliament and Minister of State, Rabu Awakumse. Just yesterday, colleagues, Madam Mavis Awakumse reached out and has promised to meet with us to get the issue resolved and those who attacked David sanctioned. She has now shown interest in the case and willing to engage. So we will engage her and a team in the coming days to find closure to the case and bring the thugs or perpetrators to book.
Some internal